Okay, we're live.
All right, awesome. Do we have to say our names again or no?
I think so.
I think
Okay, I'm
so.
Jared.
I'm Kaylee.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Amy.
And we are the best group there is, so we will go from here. Let's talk about the first one, the advocate one that's against same-gay marriage or same-sex marriage. It says, what principles of effective speaking did you see in his speech?
The only principle that I saw was at the end he did ask for action, but it wasn't really story. It was just random scriptures and opinions that were just kind of all pulled together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the principles I saw were kind of bad. He didn't really, I don't know, it's kind of like he was preaching and just random scriptures at random times, and
Yep.
yeah, it was just
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah,
was
no,
It
kind
I
of
was an
agree.
funny.
interesting.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I thought it was almost embarrassing. I thought that
Yeah,
because I mean, he could have used like a story from the Bible and he kind of did, but at the same time, it's kind of like I don't know, you can't fight someone with something they don't believe. I mean, the basis for like using empirical data is so that you can kind of all agree or not, like it's like empirically based instead of just being opinion. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was almost embarrassing. I thought that because I mean he could have used. Okay, my thing's not working.
who's speaking?
Hello?
I hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone was echoing.
I just heard my whole conversation again.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah, I think he
Okay.
was playing on someone else's like screen or something.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm good then.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to stop it from playing, but it's playing everything over again.
If you just close the tab, one of the tabs is open. If you just close it.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't
You
know.
guys
Okay.
hear that too? Okay, sorry. Okay, we're good. The tab is closed, so it will not play back again.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Amanda?
No, I totally agree. I thought it was, like you said, it was awkward. Did he mention something about, I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird. Did he mention something about how gay marriage is supposed to, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it again, and I think it's just, yeah, I don't, it's, you guys pretty much covered what that question is, I
Yeah.
guess. So,
It was, okay.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of like baffled at what he's saying, to be honest.
I was
But
like
I know.
embarrassed for him.
yeah, yeah, and like that just reflects of why like gay people are so angry about, I don't know, like people who are
Yeah.
against it. Like they think we're all that angry and that judgmental about it. But
I know. It was yeah. It was weird. Okay, let's go on to the next one. It says, what was the basis and or the premise of for his stance? It was pretty much what the Bible said. So he was going off strictly what the Bible says, but interpreting it for himself. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
like I feel like he was going off of some things of what the Bible said, but there's other verses and other things in the Bible that like love one another, stuff like that. It's like really he's going off of one thing in the Bible instead of like, many others. But
Yeah.
And
So he looked at the one scripture, not like the whole context.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So if you were on the fence when it came to same-sex marriage, how would you feel after listening to his speech? I would feel like we need to have same-sex marriage because he was not very persuasive. He didn't like I was just like, dude, you're dumb. Like, sit down. I feel bad for you. You know? Just
Yeah.
like,
Well, like I mentioned, like I felt like yeah, you felt bad for like he just embarrassed himself, but like his anger and how much he was kind of saying how sinful these people are, you're kind of like, well, okay, I don't want to go on the same side of this dude because he's just so
yeah,
angry and
Yep.
judgmental, and so it makes you think like, okay, maybe I do agree with same-sex marriage. So
yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. I like after watching that I was just like this is like only turning my views for same-sex marriage, which is not I don't know, it's just weird how it did that.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I feel like
Okay.
just because as like we believe in what we believe, it's kind of like, oh, well, I definitely don't believe that we should condemn people to hell, just because of I don't know. I just felt like he was being so harsh, and I was like, well, that's not really what I believe to be that harsh on them. So maybe I
Yeah.
don't believe in what he's saying,
Yeah.
even though that's not true.
And it just gives everyone else kind of like we were saying earlier, like it gives them a bad taste in their mouth of this is what religious people are like, and this is why we don't like them, and like it just kind of gave us a bad name for those who do believe in the Bible, and even if we don't believe it how he did or interpret it how he did or got angry about it, like we still believe in the Bible, but that was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was it? We kind of already talked about this, but what was least effective about his speech? He just got really angry and like just kind of yelled at everyone.
I got lost with all the scriptures that he kept throwing out. Like I didn't know what he was saying and what like I just got lost.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree with both of you, especially with his anger, and I felt like what made me kind of angry was it's like, okay, you're perfect, and I don't know, it's just yeah, he was just angry, and it didn't feel like a comfortable environment, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really effective.
All right, well, let's talk about the other one, the same or for same-sex marriage. So what principles of effective speaking did you see in his speech?
He did really good. Like I was super impressed with his speech. Like he told a story that was like I don't know about his mom's, and I was like, oh, like like he is real, like, and I was like kind of believing what he was saying. As I mean, I no reason to believe that he's lying, but I don't know. I just felt like he did a really good job with like his story and like bringing it into like how it affects all of us, and I don't know. Then he like wanted action at the end, so I don't know. I thought he did awesome.
Yeah, like I thought it was really good how his, like you said, his story pretty much revolved throughout, or was like embedded throughout the whole speech. It was like everything went back to that main point. I thought that was perfect because that's how it is. Like it was really persuasive in the way he spoke because it was personal to him and people could relate to it. So
And from the beginning, like I was intrigued by his story. Like I was like he had my attention from the beginning of what he was saying, even though I knew what the stance was. Just how he started kept like got my attention. Then he kept my attention, like you're saying, because he just kept bringing back the story.
yeah,
Yeah, just to go off of what you guys said with the story, I'm actually taking another family class where we listen to a speaker talk about how you draw people's attention by telling your personal story and then relating it to what the issue is or what you're presenting, and that really draws people can relate and it draws their attention more because of your personal it's more personal. And so I liked how he talked about his personal life and then tied it into what he wanted to present. So
Well, and
yeah,
he's a real life example. Like you've seen him there, you hear him. He was more normal than the other guy, it seemed like. I think those, like, if they happened together, like, the first guy would have strengthened his because he just seemed more, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Because going to the second one, so what was the basis and or the premise for his stance? I guess it was like his personal experience with having two moms and basing his beliefs off of that and what it's made him become.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I feel like his basis was kind of like, look at the example, like look at me and my example, and you know, I feel like he was saying we hear a lot of things of how bad kids can turn out, but I'm living proof that it can, like, it's no different than you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys were on the fence about same-sex marriage, how would you feel about that after listening to his speech?
I'd be on his side.
Yeah, definitely. He was a lot more persuasive, like not necessarily persuasive, but he just a lot more
Engaging.
confidently spoke.
Yeah.
Like how
Well,
he
and I
seemed
thought,
more. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, no, it's okay.
All right, Amy, you go.
Okay, fine. Okay, I thought it was really interesting too to watch the background people. Like, there's a lady in the background for his, and at the end she was like nodding and like
Yeah.
clapping, and like she was totally going along with it. And for the other kid, it was kind of like they were all just like staring and paying attention, and I don't know.
Yeah, there was like people walking around for his, like the first guy, and like talking. The second guy, everyone was like really quiet, just listening, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the least effective? What was least effective about his speech?
I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah.
I would say maybe he could have used more like empirical data, because I mean, if you, from what I understand, the tests show that it's not as good of a lifestyle. But I mean, obviously he would leave that out. But if he had, I don't know, more like empirically based data saying that it was a good thing, that would have been a little better for his speech.
I think with the data part, he could even say that like there hasn't been much research on this, so they don't have enough research to prove their point yet, and like have that part as their showing, like, as his data.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to move. Okay. Well, what about the last one? What was what principles of effective writing did you see in his article? So Matt Welch.
He had some good ones, but at the same time, I don't know. The first time I read through his, I was like really impressed, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot of, like, this is really cool and convincing. But then the second time I read through it, I felt like I found a lot of faults in his arguments.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about his.
And I think at least when I read it, I felt that his voice was a little extreme. Like he was, like he could have been more, I don't know, like just not as extreme on that side. And if I read some of the comments below, and it was interesting to see what some people said, because he said there'll be comments like this, and there was. And it was just interesting to read what other people had thought, and there was some really good things that, like you were saying, there was maybe some flaws in his, and there was some really good comments that said, you know, I don't really agree with this, but maybe look at this, and this might give you a better picture, a better understanding of why. So it's kind of interesting to include the comments in looking at it.
Yeah, like I'm the same. Like every time I see an article that I'm not sure about, like I wasn't sure about this either, and like I like to read other people's comments and see their questions and their views and like see what they get from it. And that helps me. But I think it's also harder because the other two were videos, and like I can see how they presented it and how they, presented themselves. And so I think it may have pushed me one way or the other if I saw them more of like a video presentation of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this. Come here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like the same thing. I didn't have the video of it, and so going into it, I was picturing something different. Like my mentality was different when I was reading it than if I just saw the video presentation of it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. So, what was the basis or the premise for his stance? Anyone?
Well, he had two, right?
Can't remember.
I don't remember his first one. His second one was like,
Yeah,
it was his first one was just saying that like they're not like I don't know. Down it was saying like it's not the same type of relationship, so it can't be equal because equal means the same.
Yeah.
And then his second thing was from what I kind of understand is kind of like the union of marriage is kind of what like who gets like legal benefits, but that didn't necessarily outlaw gay marriage. I don't know if that's exactly right, but that's what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I.
Sorry, go on, Kaylee.
Well, I was just saying that's what I got. Just that the marriage between a man and a woman is unique. Like it's different from all other relationships.
Okay. If you were on the fence about when it comes to same-sex marriage, how would you feel after reading this article? To me, it wouldn't have like really an effect on me. Like it wasn't something that like inspired me or something that drew me away. It just was just like, oh, it's another article. It's not really anything that was persuasive for me.
Same.
Same.
I would say it made me kind of want to learn more about it because I read it. That's when I went down to the comments and read everything because I was interested, But it wouldn't sway my opinion either way. It just would make me kind of more interested to, I don't know, learn more.
No, I totally agree with that. Like it's kind of on the fence with. I mean, it's not as. It just made me more interested, like you said, that you wanted to learn, get a little bit more information, but like it didn't persuade me like that. I didn't change my mind. It was just interesting to get another person's perspective, and so.
Okay. So what questions do you still have? I don't really have any, so. Okay. Well, that's all the questions for this group. I think that's it.
Yep.
Awesome.
So then we just need to summarize it really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I should have taken notes.
So summarize like what we talked about, or I forget now.
Just kind of I think it's like the consensus we reached or whatever, what we agreed upon.
So I feel like we agreed that we came to the consensus that the first guy, we just felt sorry for him, so he kind of changed our mind because of how bad he was. The second guy, he was confident, he was informative, and he was really personable, which was great, and so people were more willing to listen to him and change their minds. Mm-hmm. With the article, it was more of just what would you guys say for that one?
More informative rather than persuasive.
Yeah, more informative. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Great job, everyone.
Yep, same all. Kaylee, can you post this, or do you want me to post it?
I can post it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Next
Okay.
week at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All
See you
right.
then. Have a good weekend.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.